Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
This is driven to deep center field. Off the bat is Spangenberg. Back is Williams at the wall, and that ball is gone. Corey Spangenberg is on fire. Big night last night for Corey Spangenberg, but we've been saying that a lot lately. Why? Because he has been red hot, riding a 7-game hitting streak coming into today's action. 444 along the way with 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. Back in the lineup and today, starting in left field. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres Baseball. Well, the Padres have already won the series, winning the first 2 games of this series. And when today we played day baseball, they're playing good baseball, and right now they're powering up.
It's been a number of Padres that have been on the scene and making a difference. Did you guys know that since May 21st, the Padres are 38-36? Why? Well, before the All-Star break and after the All-Star break, Spangenberg's been hot. That's been documented. Last night, Hector Sanchez, and also in the pinch, Manuel Margot leading off and learning at the big league level, and Jose Perla, he just flat out rakes. Now here's the thing. I mentioned since May 21st, 38-36, this is what we want to see April 4th, 5th, whenever opening day is next year. We want these guys to come out hot in April and make a difference in the standings, hopefully near the top of the standings. Might be a ways away, but hey, next year make it happen early.
Last night, Dinelson Lamet pitched great today, looking for more of the same from Clayton Richard.
I think Clayton Richard is a victim of sometimes where he makes good pitches and the ball just happens to find the hole. 12 innings pitched, the last 2, he has struck out 10. He has to stick to his strength. What is that? Sinkers. I think Clayton Richard, quite frankly, could go sinker, sinker, sinker all day and still be successful. Hopefully a little defense behind him. He might throw some more cutters today, but he definitely needs some more support to get a victory under his belt.
Corey Spangenberg rolling around.
Yeah, whatever. He's hot.
He's hot, and he's going really good right now. Rolling along. He's got power. He's got speed. He's Corey Spangenberg. His manager, Andy Green, will weigh in on what a great job he's been doing right after this. Padres baseball, brought to you by Petco, where the pets go. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup. Shop at choosenissan.com. Game 3 of the series before we get it started between the Phillies and Padres. Let's send it down to field level and Bob Scanlon.
Well, thank you, Don. As we've talked about, Corey Spangenberg has been on fire. 4 home runs in the last 3 ball games, but he's not just helping the team with the big bat, he's also doing it with the wheels. Here's what Andy Green had to say.
I think just his energy in general, he flies down the line, he flies first to third, never takes a play off, he's always locked in. Those kind of things, I think I said yesterday, fans appreciate a great deal when you see a guy that plays the game that way. It's fun to show up and watch play baseball. So he's bounced all over the lineup for us. He's in the cleanup spot today. I figure a guy hits that many home runs over the last few days can hit 4th for us. But he's done a tremendous job wherever.
Stealing bags, breaking up double plays, and of course a 7-game hitting streak to go with the power that we've seen lately. He is doing it all, and he's going to try to help the Padres break out the brooms today. The Padres are looking for their 3rd sweep of the season. Clayton Richard, Nick Pivetta, Padres, Phillies coming up next right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Is out at the plate. Corey Spangenberg is on fire. And that ball is gone. Brad Hand with another save. It's game 3 of the series as the Padres take the field on this way back Wednesday. A beautiful day in San Diego. Not a cloud in the sky as we get it started. As Clayton Richard taking the hill for the Padres. Time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 75 degrees, southwest breeze at 11 miles per hour on the forecast for more of the same for the remainder of the afternoon. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, Bob Scanlon with you from Petco Park in San Diego. Padres have taken the first 2 games of the series. We check out Pete McCannon's starting lineup for Philadelphia. Brought to you by Hyundai. Cesar Hernandez leading it off at second base with Freddie Galvis at short. Reese Hoskins in left field with Tommy Joseph at first base. Nick Williams in center field. Michael Franco is at third base with Cameron Perkins getting the start in right field. Cameron Rupp does the catching, the day game after the night game. And Nick Pivetta, the pitcher, batting out of the 9th spot for Philadelphia. Clayton Richard ready to work here with his first pitch of the day, and it is in there for strike 1 to Cesar Hernandez.
Oh, the old left-hander, 33-year-old, wearing number 3, making his 25th start. Ground ball fanatic. See what I did with the fanatic?
I noticed that.
And he needs support because he's been not getting much support this year. 145 innings at least pitched to qualify. Only 3.47 runs of support. That's the lowest in the majors. How about a little support for the left-hander?
Clayton Richard looking for his first win since June the 13th. There's a pitch in the dirt here to Hernandez.
I like these unis.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love the logo.
I really do.
This one is grounded back towards the mound nicely off the hill as Richard spins and fires. Dug out by Myers for out number 1. So one away here in the first inning. It's time to check out the Padres defensively today. Brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Left to right of the outfield, Corey Spangenberg still in the lineup and in left field today. With Manuel Margot in center field, Hunter Renfroe in right. Yangervis Solarte at third base, Dusty Coleman at short, Carlos Asuaje at second base, Will Myers at first, and Austin Hedges doing the catching today for Clayton Richard. One down in the first, and brings up Freddie Galvis. Galvis, the Phillies shortstop, into double figures in home runs. He's got 11 on the year. Take strike 1. The Phillies are 43-74 coming in. They have lost 3 straight games. And beginning a road trip here, they will head to San Francisco after the ball game tonight and take on the Giants as part of this West Coast tour for Philadelphia. Won 6 in their last 10 games.
The West has not been kind to these Phils. 6-19 against the NL West. It's been a rough year for the Fightins.
They're a young team, no doubt, but one of their better prospects and a guy that we got to see in last night's game. First 2 games of the series, Rhys Hoskins waiting on deck for Pete Mackanin. Hoskins with his first major league home run in game 1. He had 2 in that game and then hit another one here last night. So getting a look at their future, which is brighter.
Well, they're good up the middle. Galvis, Hernandez. That's a start, I guess.
Swinging a foul tip held onto by Hedges for strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Clayton Richard. 2 down here in the first inning.
Clayton going 95 up the ladder with the fastball to Freddie Galvis. Very nice. A little high 2-seamer.
So 2 down here in the first inning, and brings up Rhys Hoskins, who we were just talking about. 3 home runs, 5 RBIs so far in his first couple of major league games, and impressive. He is close to the plate. Into his 7th major league game. Just missed. 2-0.
So in the pass list for Hoskins, many people in attendance, 30 to 40 family and friends growing up out here on the West Coast. And it's been fun for them as well, right? Even though the Phillies have lost.
High drive out towards right center field. It'll stay in the yard, and Manuel Margot backpedals almost to the track. A 1-2-3 first inning for Richard. The Padres are coming up. First inning back at Petco Park in San Diego. Time now to check out Andy Green's starting 9. The Padres lineup is brought to you by Toyota. Well, Margot leading it off. And in center field, Carlos Asuaje at second base. Got Hervis Solarte at third base. Corey Spangenberg in left field. Will Myers at first. Austin Hedges does the catching with Hunter Renfroe in right field. Dusty Coleman at shortstop bats 8th. And Clayton Richard on the mound and batting out of the 9th spot for the Padres. On the mound today, Nick Pivetta gets his 18th start of the season for the Phillies.
24-year-old. He gives up a lot of homers. We'll get into that a little later. And a lot of traffic on the bases. High whip out of the stretch. He's got a good arm. It's just the secondary stuff. Very, very inconsistent with his secondary pitches.
Well, Margot to get it started here in the bottom of the first inning. Margot, Asuaje, and Solarte scheduled to bat here in the first. And that is ball 1 from Pivetta. 4-7 the record, 6.29 earned run average coming in. Strike called, evens the count at 1-1. Pivetta has struggled in each of his last 2 starts. One against the Mets, one against the Rockies, allowing 13 earned runs in 7 1/3 combined innings. And in those 2 outings, a 15.95 earned run average. Richard and Pivetta actually squared off against each other in Philadelphia back on July the 7th. So a rematch here today of sorts. Richard's best start in the last couple of months. Allowed 1 run in 6 innings, while Pivetta gave up 3 runs in 7 innings. And both ended up with a no decision as the Padres would win that game back on July 7th, 4-3.
Looks like a pretty straight fastball from Pivetta. So if he's wild in the zone, look out with the way that the Padres have been hitting some home runs lately.
2-2. And that was strike 3. A late call there by Nick Lentz, the home plate umpire. And Manuel did not agree, but he'll take with him the first strikeout of the day for Pivetta.
Wow. Ooh. Woof. Slider. 84. He gets the call.
One down here in the first inning for Carlos Asuaje. .287, 2 homers, 13 runs batted in for the Padres second baseman. Fouls it back to our left and out of play.
Coming in hot.
Swinging over the top of that. Asuaje now. Solarte waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the bottom of the first inning after taking the first 2 games of the series. Well, defensively behind Nick Pivetta today. Left to right in the outfield for the Phillies. Rhys Hoskins in left. Nick Williams in center. Cameron Perkins in right. With Michael Franco at third base, Freddie Galvis at short, Cesar Hernandez at second, Tommy Joseph at first, and Cameron Rupp doing the catching. And trying to hold up and doing so successfully was Asuaje, according to third base umpire and crew chief Sam Holbrook.
It's close. You know, we talked about in our pregame show 4 Padres that are swinging the bat well, seeing the ball extremely well. Carlos Asuaje doing well against the Phillies this year, 6 for 19, hitting 300 off of righties. It's all coming together up to this point of the season for Carlos Asuaje.
Fouled off the catcher, and Cameron Rupp could not hold on to it.
97 on the fastball.
Good battle here. 8th pitch of the at bat coming up.
Slider.
And it's a strike 3 call over the outside corner. Back-to-back Ks start the day for Nick Pivetta. 2 down.
The slider, the backdoor variety, right on the outside corner at 83. That's a strike. Good pitch.
Nick Pivetta from British Columbia, Canada. Came over from the Nationals, part of the Jonathan Papelbon deal. Trade deadline of 2015. Solarte will crank one foul down the left field line, out of play. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Hit a homer or two. Why not? Go long ball and keep the infielders busy. Talking about Clayton Richard out there. If he's throwing his sinker and keep the ball on the ground, they will be busy. And he can go deep into the ball game and hopefully have a W next to his name after all said and done.
Well, good first inning for Clayton Richard. 12 pitch, 1-2-3 first. Solarte goes around, trying to hold up and could not. Down 1-2.
Spangenberg with the solo shot in the fourth last night. Hector Sanchez with the 2-run shot in the fifth. Padres homer happy.
Yeah, we talked about it in the game open. Powering up are the Padres. Some good slugging percentage numbers too for the Padres. Second half of the season. One-two pitch coming up. And a swing and a miss. Solarte strikes out, and frustrated as Pivetta strikes out the side. Scoreless after 1.
We head to the top of the second inning, and some news coming out of the organization today. One of their players retiring, Jared Weaver, calling it a career after 12 years in the big leagues. Here you see part of his announcement today. I think the key here, my body just will not allow me to compete like I want to. He tried to pitch for the Padres this season. 9 games total. 4 of them were outstanding, guys. 2 earned runs or less, but the other 5 he ran into trouble, especially with the long ball. 331 career starts, most of those with the Angels. 3-time All-Star, 3 times top 5 Cy Young Award selection, calling it a career. Guys, back over to you.
All right, thanks very much, Ken. And yeah, Jared Weaver, of course, Southern California born and residing in Southern California here now for his retirement at 34 years of age, wrapping it up. And it was fun to be around him, and a great major league career for him, looking back over the years, and certainly with the Angels in his career.
I became a big fan of Jared Weaver. The way he handled himself just wasn't pitching up to his expectations. Hey, you know what, guys? Anytime you win 100 games in the big leagues, I think that is one heck of a career. Jared Weaver won 150 games, 98 losses.
Up the middle, ranging is Iswahe. Plants and throws, and in plenty of time Gets Tommy Joseph for the first out of the inning.
I think that's a darn good career. So we wish nothing but the best for Jared Weaver. He's a good egg.
So Clayton Richard off to a good start today, retiring the first 4 that he has faced, and he will face Nick Williams for the first time on the afternoon. The center fielder for the Phillies, 293 with 5 homers and 24 runs batted in. Center fielder Manuel Margot well over into left center. Good size gap out there in right center field for Williams. And again, Corey Spangenberg out there in the outfield today, moving from third base to left field. Jose Perella getting the beginning of the game off. There's no way Spangenberg's bat is coming out of lineup though. The way he's going. Chopped up off the plate out towards shortstop. Tough hop, barehanded, and late. Nice bid, though, by Dusty Coleman. The infield hit for Nick Williams. First base runner to reach today for Philadelphia.
Great effort by the wheat shocker out there at short, Dusty Coleman. This is the only play he had. What in the Omar Vizquel is going on? The bare hand, kind of the change-up grip, and he beats it out. Williams with some speed. You know, that's a tough play. And Omar was one of the, he used to actually time it to where he would catch the ball behind him. So he was already in the throwing position. Did you see where Dusty kind of caught that? I mean, he did everything he could. He caught it in front of him and then had to reach back, rear back to throw.
Kind of had to, because if it had bounced up, it would hit him in the face.
Yeah.
So there
right
is
to put him.
An infield hit. 1 out, 1 on, and Michael Franco taking strike 1. 224, 17 homers, and 59 runs batted in. Throw to first, and back to the bag safely is Williams. Of course, the good move by Clayton Richard.
You know what's so funny is when you look at base runners against Clayton Richard, they have a short lead, and he throws over, and they're still diving back. They could very easily go in feet first, but they have to dive back because they're fooled so much by that great move.
His 7 pickoffs this season lead all of baseball. This ground ball left side deep in the hole at short. Coleman will go to second. It's going to be close, and it is just in time. Yeah, he was deep in the hole at shortstop over on the third base side of short. Turns and forces out Williams at second base on a close play.
Little bit of a bobble right there in the webbing. Hey, find the handle, get rid of it quickly. On the bag, hits the glove in time. It's the old 6-4 play, fielder's choice.
So 2 down, Franco at first base, and Cameron Perkins with his first start of the series. Standing in on the right side. Perkins been coming off the bench, and that's started right field today. I recall from Lehigh Valley yesterday when Daniel Nava was placed on the 10-day DL. Franco, the short lead at first, held on by Myers. And a chopper to third base. Solarte will go to second for the force out. That ends the inning. Inning and a half done on a beautiful day in San Diego. No score. Spangenberg has been lately, really has been tremendous second half, and off the last road trip for the Padres. Of course, the 2 home run game that he had against the Dodgers. Now he comes home and keeps it rolling here against the Philadelphia Phillies in the first 2 games of the series, powering up with 12 home runs now in the year for the Padres. Sometimes third baseman, sometimes left fielder, and today getting the start in left field. He's going to lead it off here in the bottom of the second inning.
Looks to homer his 4th straight game, Don. As we mentioned, been on a tear the last 3 games.
7 for 11 in the last 3 games with a double, 4 homers, 8 RBIs, and 7 runs scored. Overall, as you mentioned, hitting safely in his last 7 games, 444 during that time. And he'll take strike 1 over the inside corner. A good first for Nick Pivetta, who retired the side in order. Margot, Asuaje, and Solarte all down by way of the K. In there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Pitch in the dirt, and Spangenberg swinging over the top of it. That is 4 straight strikeouts to start the afternoon for Pivetta. And that's out number 1 of the second inning.
You see what he did there, Pivetta? It's almost as if he started higher in the zone and then down, down, down for the strikeout. Throwing it early for strikes, late in the dirt, swung out and missed for the strikeout on the curveball. And remember, I mentioned the secondary pitch has been very inconsistent. Well, it looks like he's got the feel for it early this afternoon.
One down here in the second inning, Will Myers. Starting the day at 236. 24 home runs and 58 runs batted in. Ahead of the count here, 2-0. Number 115 of the year for Myers, of a possible 120. Not missing by a lot, 3-0.
Miss it down, that's for sure. That's exactly where you want to be, but he may have gotten squeezed on that last pitch. That was a darn good pitch.
Myers take it all the way, and he takes ball 4. Down to first base he goes, a 1-out walk. First base runner to reach today for the Padres. Breaks up a string of 4 strikeouts in a row to start the day. Now Austin Hedges in Philadelphia. Last time he saw Pivetta, he had 2 home runs in a game that Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. 2 of the 15 home runs that Hedges enjoys on the year. And a hug for his hitting coach.
Love the unis too. The place is like hitting Williamsport.
It is amazing. Everything in the air, you feel like he's got a chance to get out of that yard. Austin Hedges with 15 home runs, 46 runs batted in. Had the night off last night, back in there today. Tore apart a baseball last night during the game. Got to the bottom of it. We watched. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Myers. Myers held on by Tommy Joseph at first base here. Phillies starter. Struck out Spangenberg to begin the inning. Walked Myers. Now Hedges will pop it up foul down the first base line, and that will get into the seats.
Hey Don, we're going to have a guest next, top of the third, next half inning. Shortstop, number 10, 1998 National League Championship team, Chris Gomez.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, darn good shortstop. Solid, very solid.
Way back Wednesday here today, and those uniforms on right now for the Padres today. So the first, and back to the bag safely is Myers.
In fact, the guy on deck right now for San Diego wearing Chris Gomez's number 10, Hunter Renfroe. The way back Wednesday costume.
The check, and that one almost got away. Myers diving to the outfield side of first base, gets back to the bag. Balk called, and to second base goes Myers. Not sure what he did there. Maybe he tried to quick pitch him. Not sure.
Did he flinch a little bit when he was set? No argument for Pete Mackanin. Set. No, he kind of. Did you see that? He kind of just. It's just. All it takes a little bit of a hitch when he became set. If you come set and you move, you got to continue with the motion or a step off. Can't start and stop.
Hedges with a swing and a miss, and he strikes out. That's 5 Ks now for Pivetta. 2 down here in the second inning.
MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Padres baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Padres home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
2 down here in the second inning with Myers in scoring position at second, and Hunter Renfroe will take strike 1 over the inside corner. Well, the strikes today thrown by Pivetta coming into this game, and his next pitch will be his 30th, 20 of which have been strikes so far in the afternoon. Renfroe with 20 home runs on the year, batting out of the 7th spot today. And that's in there for strike 2.
He's got a good feel for the curveball this afternoon.
Myers at second base with 2 away here in the second inning. In the air, foul off to the right, out of play. Meeting in the mound coming up here. Cameron Rupp, the catcher, headed out to talk to Nick Pivetta. Five strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 for Pivetta. Margot, Zwahe, Solarte, Spangenberg, and Hedges have all struck out so far here, and a long conversation.
Wow, all Rupp as well with that runner at second base. That seemed more than just, hey, going over the signs and what we're going to use for signs. This was almost, hey, this is what I would like for you to throw, and here's why. In-depth conversation.
Renfroe strikes out on the breaking ball away. 6 strikeouts for Pivetta through 2, no score. Petco Park in San Diego as mud. Teased before. Chris Gomez joining us here in the booth, and here he is. Nice to see you, Chris.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Hunter Renfroe's wearing your number. How's that make you feel?
Yeah, I saw that. He's probably a much better player. He's finally a number 10 that can play.
Well, way back Wednesday here, and the unis are on for the Padres. What is your favorite memory of 1998 here at the Padres?
Gosh, probably the last out in Atlanta. I don't know. There's so many memories. I mean, honestly, gosh, I don't know. I forget what game it was. Would it have been 5 when Brownie came out of the bullpen?
Oh yeah.
And the place was just going nuts, and it didn't end well. You know, I think Tucker hit like a 3-run home run or something. But I just remember that feeling was like, oh my gosh, we're going to the World Series. And it didn't happen that time. But then we just took care of business in Atlanta. But just so many great memories.
Back at the wall, and Renfroe can't make the catch. It clanks off the wall, and Rupp is to second base with a double.
Chris, I remember that. It was almost like the cavalry was coming over the hill.
Yeah.
When Brown started warming up in the bullpen, and then Boats brought him in,
yeah,
the place just went nuts. And then when Michael Tucker hit that home run, I literally almost got sick.
Yeah.
That's the kind of feeling it was. And as a player, it must have been, oh my gosh, devastating.
It's just shocking, right? It's like, you know, you never seen that from Brownie. I mean, it was a great pitch. He went down and got, like, I think it was a splitty or something. And, you know, he just put a good swing on a good pitch. And, you know, but, you know, there was no panic from us at all. You know, we're just like, all right, we're going to go to Atlanta and get it done. So it was fine.
What part of the season, Chris, did you feel that you guys really had something special?
The day we acquired Kevin Brown. You know, in the offseason.
Yeah.
It was like we knew we had a pretty good team. You know, in 96 we went to the playoffs. 97 didn't go so well. But we knew we had a good team. And then once we acquired Kevin Brown, I think it's like, oh, man, it's real now. And I think we all knew we were good. And that just solidified everything. And I think we had the confidence that we knew we were going to make the postseason.
Yeah.
And we just rolled from day one.
It's always fun to look back, isn't it? Look at
Oh,
you.
boy. Got him.
Who'd you get?
Millwood. Dude,
Oh, wait, watch the leather.
Oh, jeez. Wow. That's an easy play made to look hard.
You still look like you can still feel shortstop out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Not from that distance.
You know,
Little league distance.
You know when I thought, and a lot of people thought the same. Remember Steve Finley hit that home run off Felix Rodriguez?
Oh, yeah.
The grand slam?
Sure.
That's when I think it all came together. And that was an April.
Shoulder
I
high,
believe.
98.
Oh, my gosh.
How do you get on top of that?
The place just erupted.
Yeah. So many good memories. It was just like such a good year. It was, from day one, we knew we were good, and we just cruised like the whole way. I just felt like we never hit any ruts, really. It was just smooth sailing the whole way, and it's fun.
Well, there is the opening day lineup.
8-hole.
Kilvio Veras, I did not realize, was
Come
at
on.
second base then.
Yeah. Solidifying that 8 spot.
Where's Carlos? Come on.
I think Carlos is in the house. Did you
I
see him
know.
earlier?
I'll see him later.
Okay.
Yeah.
One out here, runner at second base, and Cesar Hernandez batting. Chris Gomez with us. Great to have him here today. And Padres and Phillies in Game 3 of the series. It seemed like it's been that long. 1998. It's a short, and it's handled by Coleman for out number 2. It's come by pretty quick, it seems.
I don't think it doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel that long ago until I see footage. It's so grainy. It's like, oh my, and the tight unis and the stirrups. It's just like, oh my gosh, and the mullets.
Yeah.
That's when it's like, oh gosh, yep, it's a while ago.
Did you know what you were getting into when you got traded from the Tigers to here? Did you know, like, what was, you know, the Padres were all about and what they were, the direction they were going?
Well, I heard rumors for about a week, 10 days that something might be happening. So that's when I started kind of paying more attention. And I knew they were, you know, a good team and they were in the mix for the postseason. So, but I don't know, call me old school. I wanted to stay with the Tigers. I mean, we were terrible, but that's all I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And all my effort was to try to be the best I could for the Tigers. And So I didn't want to get traded, and people thought I was insane. You're going from Detroit, and we're losing like 150 games that year, on pace for that. But obviously it worked out great. And it was '96 was an unbelievable year too, really fun.
Chris Gomez, thanks for coming up.
Yeah,
Great to see
my
you.
pleasure,
Thank you
Chris.
very
Good
much.
to see you.
Bottom of the third inning back at Petco Park in San Diego. Not a cloud in the sky. We played day baseball in the finale of the series. And hey, how about most home runs in a 35-game span in Major League history? Sammy Sosa with 25, Barry Bonds with 24. Giancarlo Stanton, who's on quite a run, did not hit a home run today for the Marlins. But Mark McGwire, 23, back in 1999.
That's doing some serious damage.
Unbelievable.
It is.
And leading it off here is Dusty Coleman to begin things in the bottom of the third inning. Our thanks to Chris Gomez for joining us. National League champion San Diego Padres in 1998 on this way back Wednesday. Did you ever feel that year that that was a pretty special group right from the beginning, like he did?
I did.
Yeah.
You could sense it in spring training, and he hit the nail on the head when they acquired Kevin Brown. What he brought to the staff, not only his stuff but his mentality.
When did they acquire him? Trade deadline or before that?
That was off season. I think it was the Matt Clement deal. I could look that up, but it was a huge acquisition. And then in the playoffs, Brownie was just a man possessed. I mean, he was like, you know the cartoon with the bull. They got the steam coming out of the nose. That's Brownie on the mound. It was unbelievable.
Coleman strikes out looking. How about 7 strikeouts in 2 1/3 innings so far for Pivetta?
Well, when he's missing down in the zone. He's got the feel for the breaking ball. He got a call there, but still going to the breaking ball. He's got the feel for it. 2 strikes down and in the dirt to Spangenberg. And the last one is the freeze fastball right at the knees on the outside corner. Not much you can do with that, Dusty.
He's faced 8 hitters, struck out 7 of them. He walked Myers. This one is fouled off down the left field line, out of play. And it's Clayton Richard, Padres pitcher, 5 for 42 on the year. Overall, 116 average in 9 career Major League seasons. This year at 119 at the plate for Richard. I'll drop in there for strike 2.
I want to correct myself. That was a Derek Lee deal. From Derek Lee, went from the Padres to the Marlins. And there was a few other players involved there, but those were like the 2 main.
just outside. 2-2 now to Richard. We had one out here in the third inning. Manuel Margot waiting on deck. Quite a start by Nick Pivetta so far. A foul down the left field line by Richard.
He's in a groove. He's got the crosshairs on his target. He's missing down. He's got the feel for that breaking ball. Tell you what, it's amazing how somebody can just turn it around when the secondary stuff isn't the best stuff. And he's got it working this afternoon.
Swing and a miss, and that's 8 strikeouts for Pivetta. 2 down here in the third inning.
Saturday on FS1, the Dodgers continue to solidify themselves as a World Series contender, but the Tigers have to stand in the way. Dodgers, Tigers coverage begins Saturday at noon Pacific on FS1.
2 down here in the third inning. Top of the order, Manuel Margot. And Padres hoping for a better result here, second time through. And this one fouled back out of play. Center fielder Nick Williams over towards right center a step or two.
See how that one kind of worked around a little bit? That's the slider from Pivetta. About 83, 84 on that pitch.
The first 9 hitters, you struck out 8. That's a strike, and it evens up at 2-2. To center field, and Williams started back, now comes in and makes the catch to end the inning. Through 3 without a score from Petco. Time now for the timeless moment brought to you by Coors Banquet. Steve Finley hits a homer in a Padres game played in Mexico. Became the first major league player to hit a homer in 3 different countries. I found out afterwards that Canada was one. The United States, of course, he hit a few. And you can add Mexico. So there you have it.
Covering all of North America.
Yes. We play along here to the 4th inning, and our good friend Mark Sweeney steps in. We were talking about 1998.
It was good to see Go-Go today.
Yeah.
Steady Eddie. We called it. We all had nicknames. His was 90210. You remember the show?
Of course.
Sure. He had the chops back then, looked the part. But I tell you what, if you hit it to short and he gobbled it up, you were out.
We asked him, we'll ask you. When did you realize that team was a special team and had a chance to accomplish a great deal?
You know, he said something interesting. Obviously, Kevin Brown was the answer, and yes, that gave us confidence. But in spring training, we had a blast during spring training. Sometimes that can be a little lengthy.
Solarte's throw is off the mark, and reaching and heading for second is Hoskins, and he will get there. That throw kind of sailed on him to the home plate side of first, and Solarte charged with an error.
Fielded it cleanly. Crow hop. Everything's set up. Just work underneath it to the home plate side. And Jan Hervis would be the first one to say that play's got to be made. He's got to make a better throw on that one.
So error charge to Solarte. Runner at second to begin things here in the fourth inning. Richard going to have to work his way around it. Tommy Joseph standing in. And a ground ball sharply to first. Myers is going to third. They got the runner hung up. Solarte's throw back to second base. Hoskins in the rundown. He'll be tagged out. And they take care of that. Nice play by Myers going across the diamond the other way when he saw that Hoskins was sort of in the middle of second and third.
As a first baseman, it's how the ball is hit to you and what direction you're going to go. This is hit to his throwing side, so Will Myers easily is in position to make that throw. And Solarte making the throw back to second base, and the rundown is on. But that play is established by the way Will Myers can throw to bases.
And you know what? Pretty athletic move there by Solarte, preventing that ball from going down the line, and also good job keeping that runner at first base.
But out goes 3-5, 6-5. Joseph at first base. He'll check on him right away.
You know, just to finish the thought about the '98 team, though, going into spring training, we had such a good chemistry. We created it early in spring training, and we had fun from that day forward. Chris said something interesting. We didn't get taxed too much, but the worst baseball we played was in September. And I remember having a meeting in Arizona, and Bruce Bochy was talking, and everyone always has team meetings, but it was kind of hashing things out. And it was like, okay, guys, let's get back to playing the game of baseball, the brand of baseball we wanted to do. And from that day forward, we just went in, and the toughest series was against the Houston Astros. And once we won that, I thought it was a clear path.
Yeah, when the Astros acquired Randy Johnson, that was their move to say, hey, we are going to make a difference. And you guys just battled and battled. I mean, great matchups in the Astrodome and at Qualcomm against the Houston Astros. That was,
well, the best pitch game I've ever seen. And you know this, Mark, too. It was Kevin Brown against Randy Johnson in Houston. And I think Kevin had 16 punch outs and Randy Johnson had 17. But it was Tony Gwynn's line drive to left field. We ended up winning that game, which I thought propelled us into winning that tough series.
Nick Williams striking out, third K for Clayton Richard. 2 down here in the fourth inning. Chris Gomez throwing out the ceremonial first pitch today.
Watch, it's going to be chest high. I guarantee it. There it is. He did not throw too many bad throws over to first base. I think Chris Gomez, to me, was the epitome of what a shortstop should really be. Making those plays. Obviously, he had the diving plays. We saw the sliding one he made earlier, and critiquing himself because he was so good at everything at shortstop.
To third, Solarte slings it sidearm to second base for the force out that ends the inning. 3.5 done, no score from Petco. Kinsler is ejected from the game. Did not like the pitch before, took a look back after the next pitch, didn't say anything until now, and then he lets Angel Hernandez know what he thinks, and even more so after the game with some comments. The quote from him, "I'm surprised at how bad an umpire he is. I don't know how. For as many years he's been in the league that he can be that bad. If I get fined for saying the truth, then so be it. He's messing with baseball games blatantly. He needs to find another job." He really does, says Ian Kinsler. That is quite a take by a player after a game. But Angel Hernandez, and let's face it, looking out over the years, watching Angel Hernandez for a lot of years, at times he can be kind of combative at times and seems to be angry.
I'll say this. Every player that's played the game in that era that Angel Hernandez has been here, you mention his name and a first thought comes to your mind of, you know what, it's interesting.
Into right center field here off the bat of Aswahe. He's thinking two. Throw goes to second, and he is in safely. A double starts the fourth inning on the first hit of the day for the Padres.
Well, what's great about this is Carlos Aswahe takes that fastball up the middle of the diamond. Then you could see him taking a little peek. It gets past the second baseman, and now you start seeing where the defense was playing. And watch how he gets out of the batter's box. He puts his head down right there. That's the decision that he makes, trying to extend it into a double. Easily sliding into second base, but aggressive play. And the defense had a lot to do with that.
You know, guys, just getting back to the Angel Hernandez thing. I'll bet you a dime to donuts that if somebody came up to you, and this has been kind of a track record, somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, did you see the altercation between the umpire and the player?" You know, you can just say that, and chances are it's going to be the principal involved.
Yeah, and to get back to that, I mean, it's Angel Hernandez has a reputation, is what I'm saying, and there's other umpires that have reputations as well. There's nothing wrong with it. I think that's the element of baseball that I absolutely love, because you can't take that out of it. That being said, Ian Kinsler cannot say what he said after the game. I know it's emotional, but it does not do any good. Obviously, it's not going to help him.
I agree.
But it's not going to help the rest of the club. I mean, you're making an opportunity. You're putting yourself in a bad spot, because here's the thing: as baseball players, it's a fraternity. As umpires, it's a fraternity, but you need both, and there's relationships that you have to deal with when it comes to the umpires and the player relationship. It's an emotional game, so you'll see a lot of guys that'll talk back to the umpires. They'll ask where that pitch is, and they'll dispute it. But that's the beauty of the game. I love that part of it. It just has to be done in the right way. I think Ian Kinsler overstepped his boundaries.
One thing to say that to him is another thing to say it to everybody else, I guess, too. Because, I mean, I'm sure we didn't get to read lips there to say exactly what it is he said to him. But he had a lot to say there, and it was probably along the same lines as what he said after the game. And I guess now to make it public, well, there's probably going to be a suspension and or fine coming his way.
Yeah, I definitely think that. And you know, Mark, too. I think this is the thing that I think a lot of fans need to know. There's relationships out there. Tom Hallion comes in a couple homestands ago, and he said, "Hey, make sure you say hi to Mark Grant for me." And that relationship, there's those two. Those aren't discussed because it doesn't have any controversy behind it. But there's guys like Jerry Crawford and Tom Hallion that we mentioned. Randy Marsh comes to mind.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good ones, but there's also guys that have an edge. They have a different strike zone. They have the ability to change a game. And that's frustrating to players, because we're all out there trying to win or lose that ball game, and that comes into play.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of boiled over for Ian Kinsler.
Yeah.
But there's probably going to be a suspension.
I would think so. I feel pretty strongly about that.
I couldn't be an umpire. It's a thankless job, man. I have all the respect. You know, it's easy for us to sit up here with instant replay and say, "Oh, how do you miss that call?" Well, you know, that's a tough job.
And even tougher now, because now you can be proven wrong by video right there in front of everybody after you've made the call or misidentified the call. One and two, the count here to Corey Spangenberg with a runner at second, and spiraling off the backside was Pivetta, no throw.
Guys, remember Frank Pulley?
Loved Frank Pulley.
Exactly. So Frank Pulley tells David Bell in a spring training game, he goes, "You better swing the bat today, son." After he punched him out. Calls a strike. "You better swing the bat today. My grandson's birthday's after the game."
Strike 3 call. That is strikeout number 9 for Pivetta today, and second time that Corey Spangenberg is down by way of the count.
He's got the hook working this afternoon. Wow. The first at-bat to Spangenberg, remember, it was in the dirt. This one caught looking right on the inside corner. That's a darn good pitch.
So 2 down here in the 4th inning, and it'll bring up Will Myers. He walked in the 2nd inning. Takes strike 1.
There's the slider.
Ahead of Myers, 0-2.
Going into this game for Pivetta, a strikeout per innings pitched. 88 and 88.
At 3 in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 so far here in the 4th inning. His next strikeout will be 10. In the dirt, nicely picked on the backhand by Rupp. That one almost got away.
How does Rupp get that?
I have no idea how he caught that.
And it wasn't a backhand, Mark. He didn't backhand it. He kept his pinky up top.
Looked like Patrick Roy on that one.
Even he's like, how did I catch that? Watch his glove.
This should be on the highlights. That's incredible. Not textbook, but incredible.
60th pitch of the day for Pivetta. Ball 3, full count. Double start of this inning for Suaje, still standing at second base with 2 outs in the inning. Not a cloud in the sky today. High skies to be dealt with today on fly balls. Full count to Myers. We have 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Runner at second. And he'll foul it off to the right out of play.
Oh, a little late on that fastball. Maybe he was thinking slider a little bit.
Oh, you have to. Just watching this game and being able to watch Pivetta feel very comfortable with the curveball and the slider.
Lined into left field, a base hit for Myers. As Suaje being waved around, he will score, and Will Myers drives in the game's first run. Padres lead it 1-0. A 2-out RBI single for Will Myers.
Full count, the payoff, a good layoff, and then Mark Sweeney, he did go to the slider on this one, looks like.
Well, behind on the previous fastball, but you see that slider. That's a good pitch. And the plate coverage by Will Myers. Not the prettiest of swings, but it does its job, getting that RBI. And you remember Carlos Suaje starting this inning off with that double and the aggressive base running.
2 down here now in the 4th inning. A run in. Padres on top 1-0. And Austin Hedges coming up. Struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Myers takes off, pitch in the dirt, no throw, stolen base for Will Myers.
Pretty good jump for the big horse. Clippity clop, no throw. into scoring position.
That'll drop in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. He started with a Suaje getting himself a double. Solarte popped out. Spangenberg struck out. And then Myers with the RBI single, a stolen base. And now Hedges ahead 2-1.
Well, this is where Pivetta has struggled of late with runners in scoring position. See if the Padres can even capitalize with another run, maybe two.
Now 14 for 27 are hitters with runners in scoring position against Pivetta at .519. That's behind now. 3-1 behind Hedges. Since the All-Star break for Pivetta. Swinging a foul tip, glancing off of Cameron Rupp. Staying alive here. Full count, 3-2. Closed captioning for today's game is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Runner goes as Hedges will take ball 4. Second walk handed out by Pivetta today. Myers taking third. Second stolen base of the inning for Myers.
I mean, Will Myers going to third base. Pivetta's got 7 wild pitches this year. That's a lot. You never know, breaking ball in the dirt. He's been throwing the breaking ball a lot this afternoon.
First and third, 2 down, and Hunter Renfroe coming up, getting his second look at Pivetta. Strikeout victim in the second. He went swinging. Not alone in that category. Pivetta with 9 Ks through 3 2/3 innings. Tardy on that 96-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. Runner goes at first. The pitch is strike, and they get him hung up. They're keeping an eye on Myers at third base. Going to try and score. Comes to throw to the plate. Going to be late. Myers sneaks in. 2-0 Padres.
Well, we said this whole series the Padres have run the bases very well. You think about what Austin Hedges is doing, trying to press the issue, but in the rundown you can see Joseph gets the ball and immediately Will Myers scampers into home plate. Perfect timing, because once that ball is released, Joseph is going towards second base. That's a tough throw, and in is Will Myers. But the base running for the Padres, pushing the issue, really goes back to both the stolen bases of Will Myers.
That was sweet.
Double steal on the play, so Myers ends up stealing second, third, and as it works out on the back end, home. 2-0 Padres.
Will looked like he didn't even know what he did. See that expression?
Softly dribbled down the third baseline. Franco will throw and not be in time. Renfroe beats it out as Hedges takes third base.
Well, Will Myers worked the count full, 3-2. He went out and got a slider, base hit. 1-2 here. Good 2-strike hitting, Mark Sweeney. And you know what? It's just about putting the ball in play, right? With all the strikeouts this afternoon for Pivetta, he's got 9. Hey, take your chances with a little dribbler on the infield.
Yeah, you get that swinging bunt, and you're smelling that hit. You could see Hunter Renfroe getting down the line in the pinstripes.
Oh, yeah.
And a long inning here for Pivetta. His 26th pitch of the inning is coming up. And it'll be to Dusty Coleman here with runners at first and third and 2 outs in the inning. All this has come with 2 outs. Coleman struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Here he is in the 4th, getting his 2nd at bat of the day. Fly ball to center field. Williams going back to make the catch, a late lunge. That'll end the inning, but the Padres get a pair in the bottom of the 4th inning. Asuaje scored. Myers scored. Will Myers stealing some bases, driving in a run, scoring a run. 2-0 San Diego. Baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sign up for the Padres Club Card today. By the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. And by Father Joe's Villages. Call 1-800-HOMELESS or visit neighbor.org to make a tax-deductible donation or cash, cars, or furniture. Head to the 5th inning. Will Myers with a big inning. And the Padres have a 2-0 advantage over the Philadelphia Phillies. To the 5th we go. Cameron Perkins leading it off here in the 5th inning. Perkins grounding into a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Clayton Richard pitching today for the first time with a lead. Richard has allowed only 2 hits through the first 4 innings. An infield hit for Nick Williams to short. Cameron Rupp, who's on deck, and a double to right field in the 3rd inning.
No batting gloves. How about that? Shades of John Mabry. Remember John?
Oh, yeah. I love John Mabry. Former Padre.
Yeah.
Redbird, Mariner.
Strike 3 call. Good start to the 5th inning for Clayton Richard. He strikes out Cameron Perkins. 1 down. 4 strikeouts now for Richard on the day.
Freezes him. Does that get a little cut to it on the inside part of the plate? Very nice pitch selection, location for Clayton Richard.
1 down, and Cameron Rupp coming up. A double in the 3rd inning. 1 for 1 today. And pitch 50 coming up for Clayton Richard with 1 down here in the 5th inning. It started game 1 of the series, and in there the day game after the night game. So Alfaro catch last night's game.
You know, Darren Balls has said before the game that look out for the cutter a little bit more from Clayton, and we just saw that. So putting it to use. I think that's the beauty of Clayton Richard when he's on his game. He can sink, cutter into righties. I think that's a good balance.
This is his first 3-ball count of the day. On the ground towards second base is Wahe. Backed up on it, plenty of time, and he throws out Rupp. 2 down. Now it's time for the Unlimited Baseball Break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Ryan Zimmerman 2 for 3 with a home run. A 3-2 loss to the Angels, who continue to roll along. Last 7 games, though, hitting at .423. Joey Votto reached base at least 2 times in 20 straight games, one shy of Ted Williams' major league record. And the Dodgers 50 games over 500. Wow.
How about trying to tie Ted Williams?
I know. In anything.
In anything. That's pretty incredible, and Joey Votto has been phenomenal.
Did you see where they went 4 outfielders on him, the Cubs?
Yes. Joe Madden.
The 3-4 defense.
Yeah.
Heard Joe Madden talk about that too yesterday on the radio, and he said we did it against Joey Votto because we wanted to show him a different look, and it didn't work out for us. You got to love that, because usually you defend it. Joe just says, hey, listen, you won't see that too many times, but we want to change things up.
And Nick Pivetta, the pitcher, batting for the second time, struck out swinging in the 3rd. Here he is with 2 outs, and that looked like a pretty good pitch. All on 2 strikes now to Pivetta with 2 down here in the 5th. Towards shortstop, and Dusty Coleman coming in. A good 1-2-3 inning for Clayton Richard. We're halfway through. Padres on top 2-0. By Nissan. Crystal clear blue skies here at Petco Park as we move along to the bottom of the 5th inning. But still looking for a cloud. You can't find one.
Got a cloud in the sky. Mark Sweeney, does it get any better than this?
What a terrible day.
Awful. Clayton Richard's going to lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Off the end of the bat, foul. Richard struck out swinging in the 3rd, 0 for 1. Padres getting 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. 9 strikeouts on the day for Nick Pivetta. And ahead here 0-2. Richard protecting the plate there and lining it foul down the third baseline. For 43 of the plate is Richard, and he takes the breaking ball for strike 3, and that's 10 strikeouts for Nick Pivetta today. Time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Let's go back to yesterday's game, 4th inning. Manuel Margot, Nick Williams on the second base side of second base. Look, good timing, good jump, diving, laying out. That's an all or nothing, because if it gets by you, it's extra bases. He gets to the point and overturn and snags that one for a big out off the bat of Manuel Margot. That was a nice play.
Sure was.
Now Margot to center field for a base hit. His first hit of the day had been 0 for 2, but a 1-out single here, 4th hit of the day for San Diego.
Early swings from the Padre offense because of the racking up of the strikeouts by Pivetta early in this game. See the breaking ball, that's on your mind. Manny Margot says, catch that. Sweet line drive to center.
1 out, a runner at first, and Carlos Suaje coming up. Suaje with a double his last time up, came around to score the first run.
Well, perfect time. You saw last inning where Will Myers affected the last inning with the stolen bases. See if Manny Margot's on the run.
I'm right there with you. I say be aggressive here. Put him in motion. Oh, they're thinking along with you, Mark Sweeney.
Four-year-old Nick Pivetta coming over from the Nationals in the Papelbon deal. Surrounded the plate, but not a strike. 2-0 the count.
I love that. Surrounded the plate.
Surrounded the plate.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Fastball,
to me.
two-seamer,
and it surrounded the plate.
fastball in, slider, backdoor, curveball. Here comes the curveball, the old number 2. Toughest pitch to hit, probably, Mark, from, I mean, the changeup, the good splitty, but
yeah.
I mean, that good 12-6 hard curveball from a lefty, right? I mean, left-handed hitter.
You don't see that much.
Yeah.
I mean, that type of break.
For the first, and back is Margot. 10 strikeouts today for Pivetta. That ties a career high for him. Misses away and falls behind 3-1. Big swing there on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Full count.
Now, offensively, you start getting caught in between if you're guessing on the breaking ball or you want to get after that fastball.
Runner goes, swung on and missed for strike 3. Throw down there, and that's going to get away. So a stolen base for Margot as Suaje becomes the 11th strikeout victim for Pivetta. New career high for Pivetta now in strikeouts.
Fastball tailing up and away. Well, not the biggest lead for Manuel Margot, but a good jump and off the glove of Galvis.
He makes that catch, and he's got Margot.
Oh, and he's got the glove right on the side of the head, right on the right side there. Oh, shoulder. Stand corrected.
Solarte jumping out of the way of a pitch down and in. Runner goes for third, and it fouled off to the left out of play. A tremendous jump from Margot there. He had third with no problem, but fouled off by Solarte.
Well, Andy's setting these guys in motion, and why shouldn't he? Because of a lot of breaking balls. Tells me push the issue to try to buy more of those fastballs. And when you have that lead, you're afforded to take those opportunities, even with the middle of the order up.
Strike call. So Solarte down 1-2.
I think that was the perfect example, Mark, right there. Fastball looked like it was right down the middle, but they've got that breaking ball in the back of their head.
Yeah, selling out for that off-speed pitch, and you can still hit the fastball if you're on the fastball. Just shift the field a little bit. Take that fastball the other way.
Solarte grounds it on 2 hops to second base. Cesar Hernandez will throw him out and end the inning. Padres leave a runner at second, but have a 2-0 lead. A good game today for the Padres against a very good pitcher as Pivetta today with 11 strikeouts in his outing. And of course he had struck out 8 of the first 9 batters he faced in the game. Padres getting on the board. Will Myers here with a base hit to right field. Myers would drive in. Asuaje from second base. And then a double steal here as it turns out with Hedges getting hung up. And coming in the back door from third base is Will Myers to score the second Padres run. They get 2. In the 4th inning, lead it 2-0. Here's a bunt bid. Solarte on the run with a throw that is in time. Nice play. Bare-handed as trying to reach is Cesar Hernandez, but instead he's out number 1 thanks to Yangervis Solarte.
That is a big league play by Solarte. No room for error on the run. And Will Myers getting it and bringing it back so he doesn't collide with the base runner. Tell you what, Clayton Richard really appreciates that play. That's a big league play there, brother. Amen to that.
He should get a point for that.
Yeah, he should.
Absolutely should get a point for that.
That's a great point.
Who do you have today?
I have Yangervis Solarte.
Oh, he's got an error today.
He does, so that's like a -1. But shouldn't he, if he has a great play like that, get a +1?
I agree.
Really? I don't get it. How is this even in the rules?
We should change the rules next year.
One down here in the 6th inning, Freddie Galvis. Galvis struck out swinging in the 1st inning, grounded out to second base in the 3rd.
Who's on the rules committee?
That's a great question. I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. This is a fair ball inside the bag at third, down to the left field corner, and heading for second base is Freddie Galvis with a double. Throw goes to third. A one-out double for Galvis, and the third hit of the day for Philadelphia. So one out. Galvis at second base. Phillies so far 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Rhys Hoskins reached on a 2-base error last time up. 0 for 2 today. Getting his third look at Clayton Richard today.
Well, the short time we've seen this guy, Mark Sweeney, don't get him extended, right?
Yeah, he's got a lot of plate coverage. Talked to Larry Boa about this young man. He said, you know, it's a no-brainer. Obviously out of position right now, where he's playing the outfield. He's better suited for first baseman. I said, is he going to be your starting first baseman next year? He said, most likely, yes.
Well, that's a shocker. Larry Boa chirping at the home plate umpire.
To right field. Renfroe moving over to make the catch. Galvis staying at second base on the line out to right off the bat of Hoskins for out number 2 of the 6th inning. Hunter had the sunglasses on, the hat there. Good thing it wasn't in the air, as this one was a line drive in the air, but not a fly ball really per se. 2 down here in the inning. Tommy Joseph coming up here 0 for 2. Grounding out to second, reaching on a fielder's choice. "16 home runs for the Phillies first baseman. And in the spot, a .283 hitter. Runner at second, 2 down. Upstairs for ball 2.
That was by design. Now he can do a number of things. 2-seamer down. He can go cutter in. And he can go back upstairs too if he wants.
Pitch 70 is going to miss away. And is grounded out to third to begin the inning. Freddie Galvis with a double to the left field corner. Rhys Hoskins lining out to right, so 2 down. Galvis at second. And that's ball 4. And the first walk of the day handed out by Clayton Richard comes with 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Well, I think that had a lot to do with Nick Williams, the young left-handed hitter coming up now. Picking your spots for Clayton Richard.
2 down, 2 on, and Nick Williams, as you mentioned, a center fielder who had an infield hit to shortstop in the 2nd, and then struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Chases that for strike 1. On a strike to Williams. 39 hits through his first 35 career games. Most by a Philly since Jimmy Rollins had 40 hits in his first 35 career games. This one fouled off down the left field line.
J-Roll. What a career he had.
Think about that group that was together, the Rollins, the Utleys, the Howards.
A talented group. They played a very good style of baseball. I think how well they did, especially with the World Series championship, really put them into a period where the Phillies didn't want to change that.
And all of a sudden they got old in a hurry.
They did.
Like it was weird.
And I think it had a lot to do with Ryan Howard's Achilles injury. When he had that, it just changed a lot of things.
The championship in 2008, beating Joe Madden's Tampa Bay Rays. In the dirt, full count now. Alvis at second, Joseph at first, 2 down here in the 6th inning. He's trying to make some noise here. Bluff off the backside by Richard, no throw. Fouled off, getting a piece of Hedges. The runners back to their respective bases. They will be off again here with a full count and 2 down.
Well, this is one of those plays where a catcher, you really can't practice. Just off the webbing of the glove. He wants to have that stick in his glove, but just couldn't find the handle.
Swing and a miss, and Richards able to strike out Williams to end the top of the 6th inning. Now the Phillies were threatening with runners at first and second and 2 down, but a big strikeout there. Strikeout number 5 for Richard. 2-0 Padres. We get ready for the bottom of the 6th inning. Time now for the Arco top tier player profile. And Corey Spangenberg, highest average by an infielder since the All-Star break, and what has been a tremendous start to the second half. Going to try to bunt his way on, and the throw not in time. Bunt single for Corey Spangenberg opens up the bottom of the 6th inning. Pivetta had the only chance, and he is late on the throw to first base.
Well, it looked like Corey wanted to go down the third base line. Then that breaking ball makes it where he has to pull it down the line. And his speed gets in there safely. Nice start to the Padres.
Now 8 straight games for Corey, utilizing that speed, trying to add on here as we get later into this game.
Spangenberg at first base to get it started. He'll be held on by Tommy Joseph. There's Will Myers. A good day today. A walk, a single, Well, 3 stolen bases. Look out, as he was showing bunt, almost got hit with a pitch.
Yes, he will, showing bunt. That's surprising in itself.
Yeah, I want to see him run into one.
Well, with Corey Spangenberg's speed, you can search out that fastball. Wonder how Andy Green feels about that bunt attempt.
Yeah, you split a gap here, and that's possibly a run with Spangenberg on first base.
Pavetta's pitch count rising, and this will be pitch number 93 of his outing. And it's in tight, flanks off the glove of Rupp, and to second base goes Spangenberg.
The second pitch in a row that Pavetta's missed inside. Fastball.
Fastball charged to the catcher Rupp. And Spangenberg to second base. Myers takes strike 1.
Well, I thought that was a catchable ball, but that was a bad located pitch. Looking for that fastball away, and he throws that 2-seamer in. Not the easiest thing in the world.
Behind Myers here, 3-1. 2 walks today allowed by Pivetta in 5+ innings. And Mark Sweeney stole home as part of a double steal. July 6, 2005, Padres at Houston.
Well, sorry about it. It's my crowning moment.
Three-one pitch. He'll have to wait. Spirals off the backside. So was it a similar type situation?
You know what? It's shocking
remember?
because I can't even brag about it. It's not something that he was in Houston. Yeah, I just sorry about it. Speed kills.
Ball 4. Myers aboard.
Is that kind of a pitch around, you think?
Sure was.
Third walk allowed by Pivetta. Austin Hedges coming up with 2 on, and here comes Pete McCannon. Well, Pivetta with 11 strikeouts today. The bunch single starts the inning. A walk to Myers, and that will be the day for Pivetta. He departs on the hook here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Padres on top 2-0. Petsko. And by Honda. Hurry into the Honda Celebration Sales Event today. Now the Padres holding a 2-0 advantage here, looking for more in the bottom of the 6th inning. They have runners at first and second with nobody out. Austin Hedges coming up, and a new pitcher into the game now for the Philadelphia Phillies. Dubre Ramos now in the game. As this pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford.
Well, since being recalled, has now walked the batter and struck out 5 in 4 innings for the right-hander. High splits though, 300 lefties, 274 for the righties. He's given up 3 home runs in a 41st game. And let's see, looking at the situation here, bunt situation here, possibly. Get him over, get him in. Add on.
He inherits 2 base runners with Spangenberg at second base, Myers at first, as Hedges has struck out and walked today. And takes strike 1. Pivetta in 5+ innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 11, a career high 11 Padres hitters today. On the ground towards shortstop, Galvis will go to second for 1, on to first for 2. On to third goes Spangenberg, but a double play grounded into by Austin Hedges. Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game. Will Myers on this double steal as getting hung up. There's Austin Hedges between first and second. And taken off of the plate is Will Myers. Gets in safely, the head first slide.
Now the key for that is the base runner has to watch the first baseman. Once that throw is out of the hands of the middle infielder, the first baseman makes that step towards second base. That's when you got to go. Perfectly timed by Will Myers.
Renfroe has struck out, had an infield hit. Takes a hack here and finds himself down 0-2. Spangenberg at third base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Line to left, and it's a fair ball headed towards the left field corner. Spangenberg will score to second base with an RBI double. Goes Hunter Renfroe, and it's 3-0 San Diego. Run charge to Pivetta.
0-2 breaking ball, didn't get it out there enough. On contact, looked like that pitch is right down the center of the plate. He wants it down and away, outer third maybe. Any way you look at it, Hunter goes down and gets it out front. Pods adding on.
Dusty Coleman taking a hack and fouling it off to the right out of play. On deck right now for the Padres is Hector Sanchez in the pitcher's spot. Clayton Richard had 78 pitches through 6 innings. Coleman takes strike 2. There's action in the Padres pen. Craig Stammen up in the pen.
Oh, guys, sometimes in the National League, and I love this aspect of it, you put Sanchez up in the on-deck circle, get a guy up in the bullpen, but there's Clayton Richards still having the batting gloves on. Might be a decoy situation. Possibly get Dusty Coleman a pitch to hit. As you said, Don, the pitch count is not where you think you're going to make that move. It always has to do with how many pitches he threw his previous starts. 97 the last time he pitched.
Swing and a miss, and Coleman strikes out to end the inning, but the Padres add a run, take a 3-0 lead to the 7th inning. And Cole Calhoun hits a 2-run home run in the 6th inning, and the Angels continue to play good baseball. They down the Nationals 3-2.
Yeah, the Nationals were playing well also. They won 7 of their last 9. Helped the team posting a 2.6 ERA, which is pretty good. So the Angels now have won 13 of their last 18 games.
It's on to the 7th inning we go. Padres on top 3-0. Michael Franco leads it off and grounds one to third. Picked nicely by Solarte. His throw and plenty of time to get Franco for out number 1 of the 7th inning.
Boy, you love those quick outs, huh? Especially in the 7th inning when you're up by 3. And another grounder on the short hop in the webbing. Did that ball kind of get caught in the webbing a little bit?
Looked like it. Almost looked like he was checking to see if he had broken his glove. So 1 down here in the 7th inning with Clayton Richards' spot in the order not coming up. He is still in the game here. Cameron Perkins 0 for 2 today. Grounding into a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Struck out looking in the 5th. Only 3 hits allowed today by Clayton Richard, who works here in the 7th inning with 1 down. That's a strike. 3-1. We talk about the support system for him. 3.47 run support while he is in the game, the lowest in the majors. Today the Padres giving him 3 runs. This is to center. Margot coming in, and he'll make the catch. Hung up long enough for the Padres center fielder to run underneath it for out number 2. We just saw the Nationals highlight. They are on their way. And a preview of the 4-game series coming up against the Washington Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman, a career .295 hitter against the Padres. Daniel Murphy enjoying August. And Max Scherzer against the Padres went 8 2/3, giving up only 1 run. And he struck out 13 in one of the best appearances we've seen this year.
Well, the starters ERA very, very nice for this Nationals team. The bullpen not so much, although they did acquire Make some acquisitions, right?
Much better now.
Yeah, even though they still at 4.86, but you're right, Don.
You had a Kinsler, the closer for the Twins.
Yep.
Ryan Madsen, longtime Philadelphia Philly. And Sean Doolittle, the end of games, the former Oakland A's closer.
And also the best hitting team in the National League with a 275 average. So you take that bullpen ERA, you almost kind of throw it out with the additions, right?
Take Bryce Harper out of the equation.
That's
too,
true.
Which offensively certainly hurts. Cameron Rupp fouling it off down the right field line out of play. Rupp with a double in the third, grounded out to second in the fifth. And hits a one-hopper picked by Solarte at third on the backhand and throws him out. Yangervis Solarte throwing the glove around down there at third base. Nice defensive play. Tested a few times today, and this one nicely picked from the ground up. A 1-2-3 7th and a 3-0 Padres lead. Get ready for the bottom of the seventh. Seventh inning stretch is presented by your San Diego Hyundai dealers. Well, Clayton Richard is going to stay in this game and bat for himself. What a turn of events this is, as they had Hector Sanchez out there to pinch hit last inning, but his spot didn't come up in the order. Then he goes out there and enjoys a 1-2-3 7th inning, and now he's going to bat for himself to begin things here in the bottom of the seventh inning. So Richard, Margot, and Asuaje scheduled to bat here in the seventh. Clayton 0 for 2 today, struck out swinging in the third, went looking in the fifth. Turns on this and sends it foul a long way down the right field line out of play.
That's pull power right there.
All the runs the Padres have charged to the Phillies starter today, Nick Pivetta. 5+, 5 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 11. On the ground, softly to Hernandez. 1 out here in the seventh inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
1 down for Manuel Margot. Got a single and a stolen base his last time up. I got 5 stolen bases today for the Padres. Is that what you have?
3, 4, and 1 makes 5. Love the stolen base. How about Will Myers stealing second, third, and home?
Very good day today for Will. On base 3 times. Popped up, foul ground first base way. Tommy Joseph over by the dugout, and he can't make the catch. Just out of his reach. Catcher Cameron Rupp there as well, but Joseph had the best opportunity.
Oh, he got leather. Kind of drifted over there. And then still drifting and reaching. And another chance for Manuel.
Cameron Rupp, the catcher out there talking to Ramos, came in the 6th inning, worked the 6th, starts the 7th as 1 down.
You know, going back to the last half inning, what another great play by Solarte at third base. It's too bad you don't get a point for that.
In the dirt, did he go? No. I'll check with first base umpire Jim Wolf. Swing and a miss, and Margot strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. 2nd strikeout for Ramos, and we got a double switch coming our way here. Buchanan, the manager, coming out here to make the double switch. After the strikeout of Margot, he got his Wahe coming up, but he will face a new pitcher. We had the Padres on top 3-0. The pitching change from Petco Park in San Diego.
Camp is certainly the day that the player comes out.
What's going on?
Oh my God.
I've just come out here and give a little bit of my time to them is unbelievable, and it's very humbling for me.
Friday on Padres POV, presented by Nissan. Hunter Renfroe surprises future big leaguers at Padres baseball camp. You won't want to miss it. Tune in Friday after Padres Live. That's great.
3-0. Padres have lead over the Phillies here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. A pitching change, a double switch. And Adam Morgan into a game here for the first time in the series.
Then the last 4 games for Adam Morgan, this lefty has allowed just 3 base runners, 3 hits, struck out 7 in 5 2/3. He throws a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer, mixing a slider and a changeup. About 90-91. Not a hard thrower by any means.
Now at third base, Andres Blanco has taken over at third. Michael Franco done for the day. Carlos Suaje will take strike one from Morgan. Four for 10 in the series is Suaje, including a double back in the fourth inning. Finds him shoved down here, 0-2. So Ramos went an inning and 2/3, giving up a hit, no runs, walked a batter, struck out 2. So that means Phillies pitching in this game with 13 strikeouts, 11 for Pivetta and 2 for Ramos, but it's the Padres on top 3-0. Swing and a miss and make it 14 strikeouts. As Suaje strikes out to end the 7th, we head to the 8th. 3-0 San Diego.
Or is it Zach? Who's your starter?
Well, Clayton Richard had a very good start in Philadelphia. It was rain shortened, but you see him today. Perfect rhythm, and as Mark Grant talked about, that cutting fastball was really the key today. Obviously, the ground ball comes into play, but Clayton Richard continues to dial it in against these Philadelphia Phillies.
He's back out there on the mound for the 8th. So far, 7 innings, just 3 hits, hasn't allowed a run, walked 1, and has struck out 5. And when Mark and I see on Padres Live, the postgame show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communications, we'll talk with all the stars of the game. You'll hear from Andy Green, and of course, we'll get you set for the upcoming 4-gamer against the Washington Nationals. Don and Mark.
All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. Richard, as you mentioned, right back out there again and dealing with Andres Blanco, who took over as part of the double switch at third base for the Phillies last inning. Did he go? He did. They're going to say a called strike over the outside corner. And it's a ball and a strike to Blanco.
Well, that was the 90th pitch for Clayton Richard. He's thrown as many as 127 this year.
Down the right field line, headed towards foul ground, and a foul ball.
That was back on June 13th against the Reds here at Petco Park. 127 pitch effort for Clayton Richard. He threw 123 against the Mets here July 24th. He's a horse, right? I mean, he's just a bull out there.
Kirby Yates up in the pen for the Padres. Greg Stammen had been up last inning. It's Yates now as we work here into the 8th. Popped up left side. Solarte and Coleman. Solarte on the line makes the catch for out number 1 here in the 8th inning. Ivan Rodow retired by Clayton Richard. Top of the order, Cesar Hernandez coming up here for the Phillies. Now Hernandez has had a quiet day today, grounding out 3 times. And a grounder to short. Coleman to his left. Make it 4 times today that Cesar Hernandez is grounded out. 2 down in the 8th inning for Clayton Richard. Galvis makes his way to the home plate area for his 4th at bat of the day. He has struck out, doubled, and grounded out. Again, only 3 hits allowed by Clayton Richard, and here's how the outs have gone. 5 strikeouts, 14 groundouts.
Gotta love that, huh?
4 flyouts. On the ground, foul outside of third. Elevates but misses away. 2-1. Fall behind him. 3-1. Sharply foul. Full count. Not ahead of that. Fastball at 90 miles an hour. Thomas with power, the shortstop for the Phillies, with 11 home runs on the year. Hanging tough.
Well, since there's 2 outs, full count, the payoff pitch going to sneak in. Check out the signs. What does Clayton Richard want to throw right here? How about the old fastball away? Ground ball to the left side would be nice.
There you go, up the middle, and Coleman's there. Off balance throw and in time. 15 ground ball outs for Richard, who's through 8 on top 3-0. Padres, they welcome the Washington Nationals, the first of 4, and old friend Edwin Jackson be on the mound for the Nationals. As he's 3-2 with a 3.30 earned run average, matched up against Jhoulys Chacín, 11-8 with a 4.06 earned run average. Game 1 will get you started at 6:30 with Padres Live. Nationals and Padres in Game 1 of the 4-game series coming your way tomorrow.
You know, as much as I love stories about guys like 32nd round pick, late round draft choice, making it to the big leagues and having a good career, how about Edwin Jackson? The guy's pitched for like 22 years in the big leagues or whatever, and he's still. It's. I love that.
I love the different uniforms that he's been in over the years.
Wow.
And of course, we saw him pitch in a Padres uniform last year. Adam Morgan back out there, got the final out of the 7th inning, getting Suaje to strike out, and now dealing with Solarte to begin the 8th, and Harris a grounded foul.
This is the 15th season for Edwin Jackson. I know the teams.
They're 13.
Dodgers, Tampa, Detroit, Arizona, White Sox, Cardinals, Washington. One time, first time, Cubs, Braves, Marlins, Padres, Orioles, and back with the Nationals.
That's 13 different organizations. 13 different teams.
That's great.
I think he's got one more team than Mike Morgan did, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had 12.
Wow.
2-2 pitch coming here to Solarte. Leads it off in the bottom of the 8th. Full count now. Check swing grounder softly out towards Hernandez for out number 1 of the 8th inning. Let's revisit the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, hit a homer or 2. No home runs, but you look at the big line score, 3-0 San Diego here in the bottom of the 8th, and keep infielders busy. I'll tell you what, they were busy with leather. Clayton Richard, you mentioned it last half inning, Don Orsillo, 15 groundouts induced by the left-hander Clayton Richard.
One down here in the 8th inning for Corey Spangenberg.
So what's my grade?
I'll give you a B-.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Spangenberg struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th for the bunt single in the 6th inning, and he would come around to score the 3rd Padres run of the day. Six for 10 in the series. Padres trying to sweep the Philadelphia Phillies. Won the first 2 games and enjoy a 3-0 lead as they bat here in the bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss, and Spangenberg strikes out 3rd time today. He has been down by way of the K. 2nd strikeout for Adam Morgan. Had a great day today for Will Myers. Able to get an RBI single in the 4th inning. Got the Padres on the board. Suaje scoring. And Myers would steal 2nd base, steal 3rd base, and then steal home on the back end of a double steal with Hedges hung up between 1st and 2nd. Myers would make his way to the plate. And the Padres had the 2-0 advantage. On base 3 times today, 2 walks, a single, and the 3 stolen bases.
That's getting your running in the afternoon, huh, for Will Myers?
No doubt.
Now I think it would only be appropriate just a nice easy trot around the bases by going big fly. Hey, why not? That was one of my keys. Hit a homer.
High ball down the right field line, headed foul.
Tell you what, that wasn't that far off.
No, it's closer than I thought it was going to be.
I know.
I kind of gave up on it. Myers may have gone around. He did, according to Jim Wolf, first base umpire.
He's jacked. Jim Wolf? See the guns on him?
I was more focusing on his call than.
Oh, he most definitely went.
Yeah. Myers fouls that away. Hanging tough here, 1-2 with 2 down here in the 8th inning.
That's a wolf in umpire's clothing. He's ripped.
To right field. Perkins on the move. Won't get there. It's up over his glove and to the track on the wall. Myers to second base, on for the 4th time today. Got himself a double with 2 down here in the 8th inning.
Talked about it recently, how Will Myers, when he gets locked in going to right center field, this ball up and away, probably if taken a called ball. Long wingspan for Will and out of the reach of Perkins. Adding on for Will Myers this afternoon.
So 2 down, runner at second. Austin Hedges coming up. Struck out in the 2nd inning, walked in the 4th, grounded into the double play in the 6th inning. $21,000 here today, 564 for day baseball at Petco Park in San Diego. Finale of this 3-game series with the Phillies, and Phillies will head off for San Francisco after the ball game today. Padres staying home to begin a 4-game series against the Washington Nationals tomorrow. Ball to strike to Austin Hedges. Grounded foul outside of third.
You know, one of the great things about the Nationals coming to town?
What's that?
Get to see Dusty Baker.
Love Dusty Baker.
So do I. Former teammate.
Giants?
I was very lucky to play with that man. Yep, love him. Great teammate, leader. Great baseball guy.
Bluff off the backside, no throw for Morgan as Myers made his way back to the bag at second. Morgan ahead of the count, 1-2. A 20-pitch inning so far for Adam Morgan. And he strikes out Hedges to end the inning. We head for the 9th with the Padres on top 3-0. Check out the stars of the series. How about Corey Spangenberg in game 1, 3 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. As part of the victory in the first game against the Phillies. Then last night in game 2 of the series, Dinelson Lamet, the starting pitcher for the Padres, goes 7 innings, 2 earned runs, struck out 7 along the way, picked up the victory against Philadelphia in the middle game. And today we keep with that pitching theme. Clayton Richards so far 8 innings pitched, no runs, a walk and 5 strikeouts. Richard trying to go the distance today as he is back out on the hill for the 9th inning. At a 1-2-3 7th, a 1-2-3 8th. Rhys Hoskins leads it off in the 9th and takes strike 1 from Richard.
Going for his 2nd complete game of the season, Clayton Richard. He is dialed in.
May 21st against Arizona. A 5-1 win, a 5-hitter. Matt Caesar has taken over in left field. That'll bounce in for ball 2. Meanwhile, the Padres have action in their pen as the 9th inning begins, and Richard tries to finish it off. Here's pitch 104. And a fly ball foul evens a count of 2-2. Brad Hand, the closer, in case. Rhys Hoskins with a count of 2-2. Outside for ball 3. Phillies have left 5 men on base today. There's a grounder softly hit towards short. Coleman rounds behind it and throws in time for out number 1 of the 9th.
Well, it shouldn't shock you when Clayton Richard is throwing that cutter, when he's throwing the fastball away, the sinker. You know, a lot of hitters, he tried to pull that ball, and that's a recipe for the old 6-3 play.
1 down here in the 9th inning. Tommy Joseph, the batter. Grounded out to second base in the 2nd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Walked in the 6th inning. The only walk allowed today by Clayton Richard. Popped up foul off to the right. 0-2. 2 career shutouts for Clayton Richard, and both coming with the Padres in his first stint with San Diego, 2010 and 2012. Swing and a miss. 2 down in the 9th inning. Strikeout number 6 for Clayton Richard.
It looks like the slider down and in. Held on to by Austin Hedges.
2 down in the 9th, and Nick Williams, the batter. Clayton Richard trying to go the distance today. Pitch on the way as a fan has run out onto the field, and time called right before that pitch. That fan got all of about 20 feet. So Clayton Richard back to work here after the slight delay. Strike call. Strike 2. The Friar faithful standing at Petco Park as one. With 2 down in the ninth. Outside for a ball. 2-2. Chop back towards Richard, out towards Aswahe, barehanded, and in time. That's a ball game. The complete game shutout for Clayton Richard. Little help from his friends. In behind him, a nice play by Aswahe. Ends up throwing 114 pitches in the complete game shutout today. And the Padres win it. They sweep the Philadelphia Phillies. A 3-0 final. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?
Well, great job by Clayton Richard. We're going to talk all about that. We'll hear from some of the players involved in today's big win. You'll hear from Andy Green. Plus, we get you set for the Washington Nationals 4-game series. It'll begin tomorrow.